New York City, the heart of American business, was once written off as the biggest casualty of remote work. After the pandemic, office towers emptied, leases were canceled, and analysts warned that the city's commercial real estate market might never recover. But fast forward to today, and something surprising is happening. The office market is heating up again. Vacancy rates are falling, leasing activity is rising, and investors are returning to Manhattan in a big way. So what changed? Why are companies, after years of Zoom calls and home offices, suddenly coming back to the city that never sleeps? Let's break it down. For almost 3 years, New York's office sector was in free fall. Major companies downsized their footprints, sublease space hit record highs, and property owners were drowning in debt. By 2023, more than 20% of Manhattan's office space sat empty, the worst level in modern history. But in the last few quarters, the tide has started to turn. According to new data, New York's office leasing volume is up double digits year over year. Big deals are back. Banks, law firms, tech companies, and even government agencies are signing long-term leases again and paying premium prices for high-quality buildings. Here's what's driving the comeback. First, hybrid work is settling, not disappearing. The reality is, most companies have realized that 100% remote work doesn't work for everyone. Collaboration, culture, and innovation all suffer when employees are scattered. That's why big employers are now adopting structured hybrid models, 3 or 4 days in the office, 1 or 2 at home. And that means they still need space, just smarter, more flexible space. Firms like JP Morgan, Meta, and Deloitte are redesigning their offices around this new model. They're trading outdated cubicles for open layouts, collaboration zones, cafes, and wellness areas. For employees, it feels more like a social hub than a traditional office. And in New York, the buildings that offer this kind of modern experience, natural light, tech-enabled meeting rooms, sustainable design, are thriving. These Class A+ properties have waiting lists. In contrast, older, inefficient buildings are still struggling. The market is now deeply divided between what's known as flight to quality. Companies are shrinking their footprint, but upgrading their space. Second, financial services are leading the charge. Wall Street is back in the office, and it's pulling other industries with it. Banks like Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and Citi have pushed for in-person work to boost productivity and client relationships. That pressure has a ripple effect. When financial firms return to Midtown, restaurants, dry cleaners, and retail shops follow. The ecosystem revives itself. And now, with the stock market strong and profits rising, financial firms are locking in space for the next decade, betting that New York's business core is here to stay. Third, tech is quietly returning too. After mass layoffs and cost-cutting in 2023 and 2024, big tech firms are stabilizing. Some are subleasing old offices, but others are re-expanding into new spaces optimized for AI development, design, and collaboration. Even companies like Amazon and Google are recommitting to their New York City campuses. It's part of a broader recognition that innovation often thrives in physical proximity. Fourth, global capital is flowing back into New York real estate. Foreign investors, especially from Canada, the Middle East, and Asia, see opportunity in the rebound. Property prices dropped sharply during the downturn, and now, as leasing momentum improves, investors are snapping up prime towers at discounts of 20 to 40% below pre-pandemic valuations. For them, it's the ultimate contrarian bet. Buy New York when others are fearful. Fifth, the city itself is adapting. Mayor Eric Adams's administration has been pushing policies to convert underused office buildings into residential and mixed-use spaces. These conversions are already underway in Lower Manhattan, Midtown, and Brooklyn. The result? Fewer empty offices, more downtown residents, and a livelier, more balanced city economy. That means the future of NYC real estate might not just be about offices, but about flexibility. Buildings that can transform between work, living, and leisure are becoming the new gold standard. Still, challenges remain. Not all buildings will survive. Older towers with high debt and low occupancy could face foreclosures. Banks with heavy exposure to commercial real estate loans are watching this closely. Experts warn that while the top of the market is hot, the bottom remains ice cold. But here's the bigger story. New York isn't dying, it's reinventing itself again. Just like after 9/11, just like after the 2008 financial crisis, and just like after COVID. Every time the city gets counted out, it finds a new rhythm. You can feel it on the streets. Subways are crowded again, cafes are full during lunch hours, and business districts like Midtown and Hudson Yards are buzzing. Even companies that swore off offices are returning. Many CEOs now admit remote work hurt collaboration and creativity. And for young professionals, the office is once again becoming a place to learn, network, and grow, not just a place to clock in. Economically, the rebound in office leasing is huge. It supports construction, maintenance, hospitality, food services, and public transit, sectors that together employ millions. When New York's offices recover, the entire city's economy gets a lift. So yes, the office market went through a brutal collapse, but now it's showing signs of real life. Not because people were forced back, but because business needs evolved. The future of work in New York won't look like the past. It'll be more flexible, more tech-driven, and more human-centered. But one thing is certain. The heartbeat of business is back in the Big Apple. The office comeback isn't just about real estate, it's about revival. Because if there's one thing history has proven, it's this. New York City doesn't fade, it reinvents. And right now, that reinvention is happening. Floor by floor, lease by lease, office by office.